Welcome to our new class on the theology, economy, and liturgy. The radically new element that the historical experience of the Church has conveyed to us, and which justifies the term revelation, is the triadic nature of the personal causal principle of that which exists. But we must stop here. What exactly is a personal existence? What does person mean? But why there is causality and ordering in God ad intra? And how to understand the relationship between nature and person, or ousia and hypostasis? It is exactly during our next class that we will raise these questions and talk about the notion of causality and the relationship between nature and person. Before the causal principle of the triadic nature was formulated, the Church lived it through its worship, especially the Eucharist, and the prayers of the Eucharistic Anaphora of the ancient liturgies of St. John's, Chrysostom, or St. Basil the Great. They show that the Christians addressed the Father as ineffable, inconceivable, invisible, incomprehensible, at the same time as the existing forever, aion, or forever the same, os avtos on, together with His only begotten Son and His Holy Spirit, si ke o monogenes suios, ke to pneumas su to agion. In the St. Basil's liturgy, the Anaphora solemnly begins with the address to the Father as the one who is, o on. For that reason, the celebrant pronounced, "It is proper and right to hymn you, to praise you, to bless you, to give thanks to you, and to worship you in all places of your dominion." It is true that the Holy Fathers of the Church say and testify that God is an endless and transcendent sea of the essence of being, to pelagos tis ousias, and St. Gregory the theologian says. At the same time, however, they show that this divine essence is not the cause of the living and true God, God as Trinity and God as creator of all beings and creatures. Rather, the cause and the source is the all-loving, eternal, and supra-essential hypostasis or person of God the Father, who pre-eternally begets and has His only begotten Son and sent forth His most Holy Spirit. So the Christian God, revealed and manifested to the world and man as the consubstantial and indivisible Trinity, is the cause without a cause and the sovereign source of all beings and of life, immortality, etc. The way the immanent Trinity exists depends on this goodwill of the Father. The evdokia of the Father that connects theologia and economia is our topic. And there is a serious reason to argue that everything in God's being begins with this good pleasure, goodwill, evdokia, and it is extended to the economy. Every movement in God, ad extra and as well as ad intra, begins with the Father and ends with Him. This inevitably establishes an ordering in both the economic and the immanent Trinity. And baptism in the Trinity points to the way the theologia and economia are applicable to existence. It implies entering into a particular way of being, which is that of the Trinitarian God. Here again, Trinitarian theology has profound existential consequences for the economy of salvation. In this theologia, if we follow St. Maximus the confessor who sees nature defined not in itself but in relation to the hypostasis, we see the relationship between the two. For the question is not whether or not there is such a thing as divine or human nature, but whether it is possible to approach God or man via his nature or ousia itself. There is nothing concrete about nature. The concrete and self-existing in being is the hypostasis, not nature. We cannot refer or pray to nature as such. It is always the nature of a person. This position excludes any disjunction between nature and prosopon and physis. But what is the function of nature? As I mentioned before, I am eager to discuss and answer this and other questions that may arise. I wish you a great day and look forward to seeing you soon. May our triune God bless you all.